We're here each and every day at 8 a.m., either on Facebook Live or on YouTube Live. So if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so. You can do so at Wolak. I'd love to have you subscribe. This way you'll be notified of every time I put something out here that may be of interest to you. And if you could, I would love if you would share this with others. This way other people get to do what we do. What do? We question everything. That's what we do, because we understand that our thoughts change our lives. And if we don't question our thoughts, we're going to believe some bogus thoughts, and those bogus thoughts are going to demonstrate in our lives. And why would we allow that? Why is it so many people are letting bogus things influence their lives? You know why? Because they haven't questioned. Here's something, I don't know any other better way of saying the word soul for me means the individualization of infinite consciousness, that point of consciousness that I am, that you are, that is one with the infinite, that is a part of the infinite, that appears at times to be separate from the infinite, but it is never separate. So I call it the soul. But here's something I want to talk about today. And what I know about the soul is that the soul never experiences fear. Why doesn't the soul experience fear? Because the soul knows that it is infinite. And when you know that you are infinite, that you cannot die, all fear disappears. It is the ego that experiences fear, because the ego is scared to death of dying. Because when we do shed our body and our mind, we shed the ego, and the ego does die. But the ego is not who we are. And our big thing about fear is the fact that we identify with the ego as being all that we are. And the ego is just an aspect of life that we're using in this dimension right here and now. And so is the body. The body is a dimension. It's an aspect of life that we're using to experience this life in all of its fullness. And I'm not saying neglect it. I love the body. I love the ego because they're fun. Think about that. They're fun. We get to use them to play with. Oh my God. Yesterday, I took time and I went to a nature reserve, and I took a 5-kilometer hike. And whoa, was it just beautiful, feeling my body move through the woods, through the paths, through the mud, through nature. Oh my God, the experience of being out there away from the noise of phones, the noise of traffic, the noise of weed blowers. I got a thing about weed blowers. They make too damn much noise. I think they ought to be outlawed. Whatever happened to good old rakes? My God. So Aaron is talking from Great Britain. I love it. Hey, Aaron, do you know that we have a group that's from Europe, and we meet every Wednesday, which is 1:30 my time. I think it's 7:30 EU time, and anyone in the EU is welcome to join us. So if you're interested in that, go to agapespiritualcenter.com, look at Wednesday, and you'll find a Zoom link there for the Europe gathering. You might want to participate with other like-minded people. Anyway, I got San Antonio there. I got Kentucky there. I got Dallas there. I got England out there. Who else is out there? There's more of you out there. Check in, eh? Don't be so shy. What do you got to fear? If you're fearing something, it's not your soul. Because isn't that what we're talking about? You see, when we're coming from our soul, we open ourselves up to infinite possibilities. We open ourselves up to infinite experiences of life because we're not in fear. And that's what holds us back. Fear holds us back from fully experiencing life. Do you get that? But we have been so conditioned by fear from the day we were born. We have been domesticated to avoid fear at all costs, instead of looking at it and realizing it's an illusion. Now, if there's a bear in front of you, you are in human form, and if you see the bear coming, you might want to run. I'm not saying disregard fear, but don't let fear paralyze you, especially unwarranted mental fear built out of the constructs of the past of which we've never consciously chosen. Those are some big words. I guess I'm growing up. I'm using bigger words as I talk with you today. I know that so many times, because life is changing so fast and new things are coming, that we have more fear than ever because it's fear of the unknown. Because if you don't believe that you're infinite, then the unknown is really scary. But guess what? If you stay in the known, life is really boring. Did you wake up today and did you feel bored? If you did, rest assured the reason you feel bored is a signal from the soul to create something new, to expand, to experience a greater life. That's what boredom is. It's a sign. Our emotions tell us if we're on track or we're off track. What are we on track for? Living our dream life, living what's important to us, not living what's important to others. See, domestication, the process of domestication is live for others. And it's everywhere. You know, I grew up when John F. Kennedy was president. I think when he died, I was in 7th grade. So I remember John F. Kennedy speaking, giving his famous line, "Don't ask what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country." Remember that? Brainwashing, getting you to think that you're not important, that the country's more important than you are, instead of you being an individual. Yes, I'm a part of this country. I love this country. This is the most free country in the world. But I'm also a unique individual. And government, whether you want to admit or not, is trying to take away your freedom by slotting you into this or that. That's what the political parties are doing. Are you a Democrat or are you a Republican? I'm neither of those. Why would I identify with either of those? Can you tell me why I would identify with either of them? They're both corrupt. They're both based on individuals who are in greed and for power. They have forgotten that they serve us. Now, that's an opinion, pretty strong opinion on my part. But every time I see lack of freedom being talked about, that's not the United States of America. And that's not what the soul is. The soul is all about freedom. The pursuit of happiness. See, that's a key thing. There's a brainwashing. You can pursue happiness, but if that's all you pursue, you're going to be an absolutely miserable individual because you're neglecting the fact that life is always two-sided. Don't fall into the opioid of the masses that you can be happy all the time. That's an impossibility. The key thing is, how quickly can you be the observer to see both sides of life? Yeah, when it's happy, experience it. Get into it. Enjoy it. But no, here's my favorite mantra, this too shall pass. Why? Because everything is always changing. Everything is always changing. And so everything will pass to make way for something new. When we get that, when we understand that, then we can be fully present in the moment. Whatever that moment is, experiencing it to its fullest. What is it telling us? Are we on path, off path? And then release it and move forward. Don't be paralyzed with fear. Don't let that get a hold of you. It's like quicksand. And when you get sucked down into quicksand, you can't move, you're bored. You have been sufficiently domesticated. I love the fact that in my marriage, I'm not domesticated. I love the fact that I'm always spontaneous. And my wife will tell you that. She never knows what's going to come out of me because I'm a free bird. I'm a rebel. And what I wish for you is that you become a free bird, that you become a rebel, and that you stand up for your truth. Whatever that uniqueness that your soul is desiring to experience, stand up, decide, and become that person. The soul knows no fear. The ego does. So today, go create the best you that you can possibly can. Hey, I'm back on at 10:30 Central Time doing my Agape Sunday celebration. I'm starting a new series, The Path to Freedom. And today we'll deal with the idea of stress. So, with that in mind, I want you to know no one says it to you. I will. I love you, which means I accept you just the way you are. Go be you. It's more than enough. Aloha.